on this is really the majority of the time you're not with another cast. The majority of the time it's just you in the booth. It's you, a glass wall, a few producers, and a director, and a sound engineer. And that's it. So it's up to you as an actor to create. If you're even having a dialogue with somebody, you're having a dialogue by yourself. Okay, so you have to create the realism in that dialogue. So being able to act and to have other people to play off, that's a bonus in the world of voice acting. Okay, because the majority of the time, you're going to be doing it by yourself. Go ahead.
Do you normally speak first and then the animators match it to you, or do you have to sync your voice with something already?
Okay, good question. It's kind of half and half. For anime, it all comes out of Japan. So that is what we're doing is we're syncing. There's a big TV screen, okay, in the sound booth with you. And you are matching your performance to the lip flap on the animation that's on that screen. For video games, it's a different story. Or original animation, it's a different story. Okay? That you go in and then you lay down the dialogue and then they animate around it. Now, twofold on that question is if we're doing a video game that's coming out of Japan, say Tales of Grace's F. Okay, that's already animated in Japan. They bring it over here, so then that gets into very technical voice acting where you have to deliver your performance. You may not be matching a lip flap, but you have to deliver a performance, deliver that line in a set amount of time. So if you've got your line is to say, you know, I don't know, grenade, get down! Okay, and that has to be delivered in exactly 1 second. Okay, you're finding yourself going, grenade, get down! Okay, but you still have to deliver a believable performance. So yeah, it's half and half. Half the time you're going to be doing what's called ADR, and then half the time you're going to lay it down and animate over it. Go ahead.
I guess for me, like, and I guess for a lot of people, doing what you do has always been kind of a dream.
Yeah.
And like, before you even started, like, did you ever wonder, like, you know, I see all this around me, can my voice really fit, stuff like that? Were you ever like unsure before you started?
His question was, for a lot of people, it's a dream to do this, and did I ever question whether I had the ability to do this? Is that right? For me, no. I never questioned it. I never doubted it. In my panel yesterday, I mentioned this, that, I mean, I used to drive my poor mom nuts, okay, because I was doing voices since I was this big. And, you know, I moved to New York City after college. I got my degree in journalism at the University of Colorado in Boulder. And I moved to New York City to go to theater, stand-up, and sketch comedy. And that's actually how I got my foray into voice acting, okay? So for me, it was just a natural progression of what I was doing. So I always knew that I could absolutely do that. Absolutely. I used to mimic Mel Blanc when I was a kid, doing, you know, Bugs Bunny. So I've done this my whole life. Go ahead.
I was wondering, this is another question, but how did you feel playing the role of Richard, and can you say spiral session?
Spiral session?
Yeah.
Yes. That's an attack, right? How I felt playing Richard. It was a joy playing Richard, number one, because it's a neat series. The Tales series, Tales of Graces, Tales of Fantasia. I played Chester Barclay in Tales of Fantasia. So I love the series. Tales of Graces was something that I was excited to be a part of. Not just that, but the production company that was producing it, Cup of Tea Productions, is a company that I've worked with often, and they're the most wonderful people. I love to work with them, so it was a joy to get to work with them. Spiral Ascension?
Yeah.
Okay. Spiral Ascension!
I know that not all voice actors will watch or play the things that they're acting in. You sound like you might do some of that. I was wondering, how does that reflect on how you improve your performances in future adaptations?
I'm sorry, could you rephrase that? I wasn't quite sure I understood.
So, for instance, you play a role in an anime or a video game.
Yeah.
Are you the type of voice actor that ends up playing that video game yourself or watching that anime yourself?
Yes.
How does that help you improve your performance?
Okay, so what he asked is if I watch or play any of the voice roles that I do. And the answer to that is yes. I love to. I used to, when I first started out in the business, I used to go, oh, I could have done that better, you know, but now you have to let it go. You go in there, you do what you do. But yes, I do. I actually go, I enjoy, you know, going and watching, if it's on Cartoon Network, I'll watch it. If it's a DVD, you know, I'll buy it. Or if it's a video game, I'll play it. Yeah, it's like Gene Kisaragi in Blaze Blue. I love playing that because I love hearing, and I think about that because, you know, in the back of your mind, you're hoping, hey, man, maybe the next one, they come out with another version, they'll bring you back, and I can do this and bring it even higher or whatever. So yeah, definitely, I think about that. Ears.
Do you have any tips for finding an agency or what to look for in a good agency or representation?
Ah, great question. Okay, her question is any tips for finding a good agent or for making sure that they're reputable? First things first, and this is such a good question. Your agent should only take 10% of what you make if they get you the audition. Any agency that wants to charge you a fee, or charge you a monthly fee, or a one-time fee, whatever, it's not legit, okay? In this industry, your agent only makes money if you make money. 10%. If it's a manager, it's 15%. 99.9% of the time, unless you're a major celebrity and you're hiring attorneys and everything else, it's 15% for a manager, 10% for an agent. As far as finding out whether they're reputable or not, ask to see who their clients are. Ask to see a list of their clients. If you recognize a few, or if you recognize some commercials that they've done, listen to some of the demo reels of some of their clients. Because every agent should have their clients' demo reels online, okay, for potential advertisers or producers to hear. So they should have marketing tools to get your voice out there. Go ahead.
You said when you were younger you did a lot of mimicry. How do you develop your own voice as like your own character rather than other people's mimicry?
Okay, that's a great question too. What he asked is, I had stated earlier that when I was younger I did a lot of mimicry, but how do I develop my own voices for a character? And what I do is, because I've mimicked so many voices, I take and I pull one from here, one from here, one from here, and I combine them. So I know when you audition for a character, you're going to get a character description, a character breakdown about this character. You're going to know how old they are, whether they're a hero, whether they're a villain, whether they're wacky, whether they're normal, whether they want realism, whether they want animated voices. So you're going to get that character breakdown. And really what you do is you pull from all of that knowledge that you have and all of the experiences that you have, and you just put together your own piece. You put together your own voice for it. And here's the thing. Every time, voice acting doesn't have to be wacky, loony voices. It can be, but it can also be very real. Very real voices with an attitude. Okay? So it's just little changes that you make in your voice and in your inflections that can create a character. Okay? You got it. All the way in the back there, gentlemen, yes?
So, in the early panel, you talked about having voices in voice123.com.
Yeah.
Now, and you mentioned there are a lot of voice samples in terms of voice demo reels.
Yes.
So, what would be your rule of thumb of how many voices you want to add in a reel to submit to the casting agency? Then, what is the limit that you want to limit yourself before you go on and on and on?
Limit yourself to a minute. The number of voices that you squeeze into that minute, you want to give them just enough time to hear something cool in that voice. But there's no real set time limit, but I mean, you don't want to give them a half a second of one voice, you know? You want to spread it out so they can get the gist of this character voice, and then leave them wanting more, and then go on to the next voice. So it's got to be just like you heard my reel, bam, 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 bam. okay?